this down here a little bit. Can't turn it all the way off. That's rush. But anyway, we got some new stuff here in the shop today. I'll see if I can figure out how to work this kit. Oh, there we go. I was able to pick up this SB220 today. Pretty good deal on it at Hamfest. But boy, she is dirty. She's gonna need a complete rebuild. She's gonna need all the Harbach mods. Grids are not even grounded on it. It needs everything. And I'm hoping to make it look like Black Betty here when I'm done. But we'll see. Also got a nice little dirty paint sprayed Palomar 300A. I didn't get the transformer, but hey, it's good for parts. Got tubes in it. I didn't test them yet, so we'll see how that goes. And, I got an amp over here I got to fix for 751. And let me show you guys where we are here on the power supply. On the back we have our 30 amp 220 breaker with positive and negative connections here. These are rated at 500 amp connection. Commercial strain relief on the power cord. 10-3 wire. We got an auxiliary chassis ground right here. Now off to the inside here we have, now I know it looks like a mess in here, but the reason this is this way, what I found out about these HP supplies, let me grab one here off the shelf. Alright, got one right here. So what I found was that if you're going to stack a bunch of these together, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you're going to do. If you want to jump these control pins, the way I originally had it done, let me see. Let me look for a piece of wire. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I had done was, you see I got a wire here, that's just to turn it on basically. You plug it in the power and it's going to come on. But normally you'd have to switch these two to make it power up. Now if you stack them this way and you say, okay, well, on this side of the pin right here, I'm going to solder my wire to it, and then over here I'm going to solder another wire to it over here and jump this one to the next unit, and then I'm going to keep just jumping unit to unit. Well, guess what? That does not work. These pin outs, even though it's the same pin, it's on the other side of the board, and guess what? It's a different function. I did find continuity on some of these pins, but not all. Pin 1 definitely is not one of those. So just be aware of that if you're going to build this in the future, build the power supply with these. You're going to have to come off of each one of these with wires and then do what you will with them, basically. So what I did in this case, the yellow wire here, let me dig out of here. Let me zoom out. Whoop, wrong way. Let me zoom out. Maybe that'll help. So the yellow wire here is all of the load share. Well, crap. Okay, here we go. So this is the load share. So all the load share is tied together with this crimp connector. If you ever wanted to run this without load share, you can just cut this off of here and just, you know, make sure these don't touch anything. Just take that off, right? And then it would not be in load share mode. One of the drawbacks of not running it in load share and just having them all run is that occasionally you'll get one that will just run wide open. What I mean by that is the fan will just run wide open, and it's very noisy, and you'll have to shut it off, restart it till it stops. Whereas if you use a load share, you cut that out of the equation, right? So then the green and white is your turn on. So I just got them all tucked down in there. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, right? Back side of the amp meter. This is the power bridge. And you can see down here, we got a lot going on down here. I actually crammed 400 amps of power in a 2x8 case, which in hindsight, I'll never do that again. I'll build maybe a 200 amp in this, but not a 4. That's just way too much. It's way too tight. I mean, gosh, I had to figure out like a puzzle what to put in first so I could put the next thing, and then, you know, go from there. So all control wiring's down here. Some RFI, a little ferrite there in the fan circuit. So if any fan noise was to get into the power supply, whatever. Not sure if that's the case. Just figured I'd do it. What else? So basically, I've got to hook up this hot wire here, right there. I'll solder that on there. And then I have a negative here to go straight across, which is going to be a challenge. It's always harder to work with short pieces of wire than it is long pieces of wire, which there again, next time I'll use a bigger case. So what else? Let me see. So you got your amp meter on the front, LED light, so you know it's on and off switch. I want to get some graphics for this here pretty soon. Let me show you the lid. Sorry about the camera, you guys. You know, I'm zooming around everywhere, probably making everybody sick. Oh, and another thing, let me show you guys. I didn't see it because it's tucked. Where'd I tuck it? Right here. Right here in this front corner. Little plug. Right here. What this is for, so that when you want to take the case off, right? Fan has a plug. And strain relief on the fan, so don't pull the wires out. The way that this is wired is that the fan sucks air into the cover, and then it blows it out the bottom here, and these holes are going to be blocked off, but it blows it out the bottom. And I ran it the other day, and it moves a pretty good bit of air, so it pressurizes the cabinet and pushes it all out here. And then of course, as you know, the modules each have their own fan, so as long as we keep cool air going into here, it can recirculate the air, you know, as long as it has some cool air to grab onto. That's all we're worried about. I put this cover on here for Sam. I think I mentioned it in a previous video, but I put this on here for Sam because he has a dog and, you know, hair and stuff in the house. If, like I said, it's pulling air in, so this is going to collect, you know, pet dander and hair and whatnot. You could just take a paintbrush, bring it outside, clean it off, blah blah blah. There you go, ready to go. So hopefully that will be easier to maintain. Let's see. What I did was I wired it up with a 30 amp twist lock plug. This is 220. It's wired for 220. Tell you what, let me grab a cord here real quick. We'll plug this thing in. Alright, we're back here now. I think what I'm going to do is turn the radio off here. Turn our rush off. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got her powered up. Let's flip the switch. And you see a little gap there. I don't have the screws in the top yet, but working on it. So let's get a good angle here. We'll fire it up. we go. Sure is pretty. Sure is pretty. Pulling in a good bit of air too. It's not buffeting too much. Maybe a little bit. But as you can hear, it's not too bad. We're right against the fan right here, right? Good bit of air right off the bat. That's cool. That's really good. Yeah. I'm happy with it. Just gotta make those last couple connections there, and we'll load test it. Hopefully the next video will be the load test. I have a oh, let's see. It's actually not mine. Mike, Mr. 175, let me borrow it here for a while. A 1000 amp load tester. So as soon as I get everything done with this, we will hook up the load tester and bump the amperage around a bit and make sure she's stable. And I hope she is, because to take those power supplies out of there to reset them now would be a nightmare. But it is what it is. And next on the bench is this thing here. I'll talk about this a little bit while I'm on video. This is an amplifier that is a bit mysterious. I think there was a guy in Mississippi that built tube amps, from what I gather. BLK, and there's another BL something line of these amplifiers, and not a whole lot of information on them. They take 12 sweep tubes, 12 24 volt sweep tubes, or 23.5 volt, whatever, sweep tubes, and it's really kind of weird. You know, it's kind of built with pieces and parts from all over the place. It's got an Eagle plate voltage meter in it. Kind of weird. Another weird thing about it is you've got your drive. That's your drive tune, I guess. But down here you have your output level, and then your RF gain. Or yeah, and you know, normally RF gain, you think, well, gosh, it's not a radio. What do they mean by that? Well, it's a variable power knob, basically, right? So you can turn the RF power down. I mean, and this says output, so I don't know. But we'll figure it out when we get it running. Supposedly it worked. A gentleman sold it on eBay, I believe. And he shipped it. Well, the tubes weren't removed. It was shipped with all the tubes in it. And what happened was the tubes, this thing came across a Gorilla baggage handler. And I'll show you the back. You hear the glass breaking in there when I move it. Gosh. The back of it is, it's hard to see in the photos, but sorry if I'm making y'all drunk. The two transformers right here are pushed in a good bit too. Probably a good 3/16 of an inch pushed in. And this whole corner is blown out right here. She kind of took a little damage right here on her face. But it's got a pretty cool design here where you pick up the hood like on a Yaesu, right? And it is Frankenstein time. No doubt about it. Plate transformer filament. Everything is built so close. I mean, look how close that coil is actually. If you put this back where it goes, that coil is actually touching the side of the case. And Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tubes. 12 tubes. Relays for days. And a fan that somebody added there. It needs a fan, definitely. I bet this thing could heat up a room. No doubt about it. But anyway, this is my next project, and hopefully it won't take me too long. What I'm going to try to do is get a clamp and put here and then here. And put me a piece of wood backer on those clamps. Put me a piece of wood here and see if I can use a pry bar to pry against these transformers. And hopefully maybe try to push this out. I don't know. Not going to be easy. But that's what we got coming up next. Then we'll be working on the old girl. The old girl over there. Anyway, guys, you know who it is. Lima Alpha 825 here in the Bayou State. You guys have a good night. 73s, everybody.